Somebody done swooped up your princess. Hey guys, what's up and welcome back here to my channel. My name's Andrea and today I have a story time for you guys. I am so excited to do a story time. I feel like it's been forever since I've made a story time, like literally forever, so I'm so here for it. I like the way my eyes look. Hold up. Not my hair that's falling apart, but my eyes look really brown. Okay. Besides the point that I have really big eyes. I know you guys have been dying for the Jason story time. Jerry story time. When you forget the fake name. I don't want to make that with my stable of mind that I have right now. So if you guys really want the Jerry story time, just comment below and I'll make it happen. Those are not his real names. For now, we're gonna deal with the cool little younger story times, younger Andrea story times. I have some coffee with me. It's literally 11 p.m. Who am I? I need help. I'm aware. This first story time it was my cousin's quinceañera. So she was turning 15. Obviously, because that's how old you turn when you have a quinceañera. I'm sorry, alright? Maybe somebody didn't know what a quinceañera was. I used to like this boy, and I feel like I mentioned him in a couple of my story times before. And a lot of my story times before. Promise, he's probably married with kids, but this was like the longest little crush that I had on somebody. Me trying to justify this and make it alright. Like, it's fine that I've been mentioning this guy so long. He's probably married with kids. So we went to this quinceañera and I really liked this boy, but like I wasn't trying to give him too much attention, and everybody's dancing. So everybody's all coupled up with their boos and they're all dancing and I don't got a boo. So I'm like sitting at a table low-key kind of sad because I ain't got nobody to dance with, right? So then these people aren't technically my cousin, and this makes sense later on, but I grew up like these kids are my cousins. You know, like to me, blood is thicker than water. I'm not getting anywhere because we don't share the same blood. But basically, we grew up with these people as our family. I looked at these people like my cousins. Like, you're my cousin. I don't care if blood isn't a thing. Like, we just happen to be really close to this family. I grew up with all of them being like my cousins, you know? So these cousins that are not really my cousins, but they're my cousins to me, but it makes sense in the story that they're not blood related. They come up to me and I'm kind of one of the only ones that really know them there. I mean, I'm sure they all knew each other, but like towards the people my age at that time, which was like 15. 16, I was 16. But they all, like, we all knew each other, you know, so they came to sit down, like, let's go dance. And I'm like, okay, because I was like alone, you know, so think about like a guy seeing you dance with 2 boys, 1 girl, and then me. So it's like 2 and 2, even though all 3 of them were cousins. One of them totally watches this video, my #1 mukbang fan. So it was me, my cousin D, we're gonna call him D because maybe he doesn't want to be associated with me, I don't know. I still really want to film a mukbang with you one day, you know who you are. My cousin J and my cousin N. We're just gonna say their first letters of their names. We're gonna call the boy Dan. We're gonna call boy number 2 Nathan. We're gonna call the girl Jenna. So Jenna, Dan, and Nathan all walk up to me, right? But these are my cousins, but we're not blood related. So it makes sense later on in the story, and they come sit with me and they're like, let's dance. Like, why aren't you dancing? Like, come on. And I used to be closer to all of them, I feel like, when I was little. We were all young, we were all so close, and I remember that Nathan lived pretty far away. So when like the few times we got to see each other, it was like so much fun hanging out with them, because all we would ever do is just talk on MySpace to each other. As in, like, Dan literally lived like down the street from me, and then Jenna like lived closer enough that like I would see them more often. So you never really saw Nathan around, right? So keep that in mind because it'll make sense later. They all come over to talk to me and they're like, how are you? Like, why aren't you dancing? Like, come on, let's go dance. And I was kind of like, I don't want to leave this table because my crush is here. But then like, I was like, oh, it is a chance to make this boy jealous, even though I would have never thought that at that age. But then I got it afterwards. So Jenna and Dan like get up and go dance on the dance floor, and then I go with Nathan. So then me and Nathan are talking, and you just see this boy like straight up like looking like at me with my real cousin, even though they're all my cousins. I hate saying that. He didn't know that those were my cousins, you know? So because my real cousin, like my blood cousin, didn't know who they were either. So my cousin, we're gonna call him Jonathan. My cousin Jonathan goes to the boy, which I forget what we called him, but we're gonna call him Robert in this story time, which is weird because I feel like I'm not gonna mention why that's weird because nobody named Robert in this story time. We're good. I'm so weird. Promise, like literally all I have is so much coffee. I had 2 before this, So Robert looks at Jonathan, and then they're like, who's that boy that Andrea's dancing with? And you know, yeah, I was dancing with this guy, and I was having like a fun time because he's my cousin, but we weren't doing anything crazy. And then all of a sudden I see that Jonathan and Robert go over to my sister, and they're like, kind of like, who's Andrea dancing with? I did it up. My sister knew that I liked this boy, so she kind of like played it cool. She's like, oh, and her friend. They were just kind of like eyeing us the whole entire time they were dancing. Everything's PG, but they're literally eyeing us like we are doing like the worst thing ever. And it is just so funny to me because I didn't say that I like this guy to them, and they're like, why are they staring at us? Like literally Nathan's like, why are they staring at us? And then Jenna's like, yeah, why are they staring over here? And I was like, who knows? We're literally just dancing. Like it's no big deal. Finally we danced. It was like kind of like salsa, like Spanish music, like reggaeton, things like that. Salsa and reggaeton are not the same thing, but you know what I mean. Like some kind of Spanish song was playing. So Andrea doesn't know what she's talking about clearly. While we finished dancing, I hugged Nathan, and I'm like, oh my god, it was so good to see you. Like I haven't seen you in forever because like the party was low-key kind of dying. I hugged Dan, I hugged Jenna, and like my best friends were leaving. It was a sad day. And then all of a sudden I walk back to my table, and you literally just see the boys like looking at me like this. And then my cousin Jonathan is like, it's not his real name, by the way. I always say that these are all fake names in this story, even though I highly doubt that they would all care. And Jonathan's like, who are those people you were dancing with? And I said, my friends. They're like, well, I've seen them two before, but I've never seen that Nathan guy. And I was like, well, good thing they're my friends and not your friends. Like I said something like that. Like I was so sassy about it. Because first of all, we've had the whole night, and Robert hasn't asked me to dance once this whole entire night. So I was like, somebody done swooped up your princess. Aren't you jealous? I am so dumb. I'm literally like so dumb. I remember afterwards they kept asking me like who Nathan was and da-da, and I'm like, they're just really close friends, like from, I think he lived like somewhere down south, like LA, like San Diego-y, like down south. So like trying to find everything about Nathan. Like they want to know who Nathan is. Why was I dancing with him? Why did I give Nathan attention? Why haven't I danced once this whole entire night? But all of a sudden I danced with Nathan. Let's just say Nathan would never be into me. So it was just so funny that they were like so jealous about it. I'm like, dude, this guy's literally like my cousin, but it's so funny that the guy I like is getting jealous over this. So then literally it's like the DJ is handing out like the last song. There was some other girl there who I believe was one of my cousin's friends. It was like my cousin's neighbor. They're like, well, you dance with them, but you never dance with anybody. I'm like, well, nobody's asked me to dance. And then my cousin's like, well, then why don't we all go dance? My cousin had two friends with him at that time. My cousin's like, then why don't you come dance? Like, why don't we all come dance like as a group unit? And I said, okay, like we can all dance like as a group. And he's like, yeah, you with Robert, me with my cousin's friend, like my girl cousin's friend, and then my other girl cousin with his other friend. And I was like, okay, yeah, we can all go dance then. And then we're dancing. It was like a slow song. It was actually kind of cute. And I was like, oh my god, my crush is dancing with me. But it was just so funny that it took another boy to steal his girl for him to ask me to dance. So I don't know, I thought that was really cute. And then the next day, guys, I literally remember, this is so weird. This was like a good 2 hours / almost 3 hours away from where I lived at the time. So I remember that I literally begged my parents to let me spend the night with my cousin in her hotel room. I literally slept on the floor of this hotel room. Like it was so uncomfortable because I wanted to see my crush the next day. And my parents were like, we're going home. If I wouldn't know my parents, we're not going home, and they ended up staying, but whatever. I would have stayed with them to be more comfortable, but I was like, I gotta stay because I want to see my crush tomorrow. So I remember I was so dedicated. And then I was like, so like, are you going tomorrow? He's in that girl's house, right? I was like, are you going tomorrow to her house? And he's like, yeah, because I'm spending the night with Jonathan. I forget the fake name so bad. I'll be there too. And then I literally I remember my parents did not want me to stay. My brother stayed too, so I think that's the only reason they let me stay. Because I was like, please, mom and dad, let me stay. And then my brother's like, yeah, I'm gonna stay too. Everybody in my family knew that I liked this kid. You know what? Is this where we met? Did we meet at the King's? I feel like we didn't meet at the King's. I don't even remember the first time that I met Robert. So yeah, and I remember I was like, so you're going tomorrow? And he's like, yeah, I mean, I'm kind of stuck here. And I'm like, so I'll see you tomorrow then. And then I went to go beg my parents to let me spend the night, and they're like, you should come home with us. You know, Hispanic parents never be letting you spend the night. So then I show up the next day. I like even brought clothes, like secretly, because I knew, like, I had this whole plot thing in my head that I was like, I'm gonna see my crush and I'm gonna spend the night. So then I show up the next day at the party. I remember I was like in my cousin's room. I pretended to talk to a boy on the phone to make him jealous. So embarrassing. And he totally bought it. I was like, you can't be mad at me because I'm out here with my family. Like, oh my, why would I think that a guy would be interested in somebody who had a boyfriend? Like, honestly, a psychopath. It's fine. Like, now I'm so much calm and I could never do anything like that. Like, I am the most awkwardest person ever to talk to a boy now. Little Andrea was such a savage. Like, I literally used this whole conversation. I said, well, you can't get mad at me. Like, I don't know why a guy would be interested in first of all with a guy who had a boyfriend, but whatever. But he like low-key like took a second look. He's like, you good? And I'm like, yeah, I'm just arguing with one of my friends. Like, and then we had this huge water fight outside my cousin's house, and he totally hit me with a water balloon, and I was like, oh heavens. That's my story time about that time. I just thought it was funny, and then I took another boy to make him want to dance with me, and I pretended to have a boyfriend for his attention. But yeah, that's kind of how that story ended. I don't remember much else of that day, but yeah, this was a funny little story time, and I kind of felt like you guys would enjoy it. So let me know what you guys thought about it. If you guys want to hear more little like innocent little story times like that, let me know, and I can do them for you. I love you guys, and I'll talk to you pretty faces in the next one. This was more innocent little story time. There's a serious story time that I know you guys have been dying for, that Jerry story time, guys, but it's just I'm gonna get in trouble out of that story time. So let's wait till your girl has a lawyer. Oh my god. All right, I love you guys, and I'll talk to you pretty faces in the next one. Bye guys.